Let's talk about this move with Ripple and the Hidden Road acquisition that now has become Ripple Prime, which redefines institutional finance through blockchain integration. And we're going to tie in how the information I've been given on the past about BRICS plays a role into it, transactions across 185 countries, and also SIPs. If you don't know what SIPs is, you probably should hang around for a minute while we talk about it. Let's get into this.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DKWILL. This is DKWILL Talk About It. First off, I'm going to say I find it amusing that this XRP news is on Bitcoin.com. I just had to put that in there. But let's talk about this prime brokerage that now Ripple has managed to manifest after the acquisition of Hidden Road to form Ripple Prime, propels XRP and RLUSD. Remember those 10 quadrillion dollars worth of RLUSD that are authorized to be printed? It brings both of those to the forefront of institutional finance, merging blockchain infrastructure with global markets. That's a key of today's video. And unlocking seamless access to digital assets. That's also part of this video, along with derivatives and cross-asset liquidity. Just a mention of how the volume on the RLUSD and also on the XRPL is primed for expansion. This deal, it says, positions Ripple as the first cryptocurrency company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime brokerage offering services spanning digital assets, foreign exchange, derivative swaps, and fixed income products. The acquisition also reflects the company's broader strategy to expand institutional access to blockchain-based financial services. Now, we're not going to be able to look at every article that I've looked at. I'm going to pull it out and try to be as succinct as possible. So let's take note of what it says here. For one point, it says, in fact, since the initial announcement of the acquisition, that is of Hidden Road, Ripple Prime's business has grown by 3x. And additional growth for new and existing customers is expected. Garlinghouse emphasized Ripple's strategic direction on X following the completion of its acquisition of Hidden Road. He noted it marks Ripple's fifth major acquisition in about 2 years, following G Treasury, Rail, Standard Custody, and Medico. As we continue to build solutions towards enabling an Internet of Value, I'm reminding you all that XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. So don't buy any narratives about XRP falling away, folks. It's a lie. You ought to do what the man says. Lock in. Let's listen to what the man said.
And if you like the content I'm providing, please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And then come back for more DK Will Talk About It.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. This is Crypto in 1 minute. A prime broker is really a one-stop shop that allows all kinds of different asset managers, whether these are well-known hedge funds, trading desks, market makers. It gives them a one-stop shop venue to trade and clear everything from digital assets, derivatives, swaps, all kinds of different assets. And these guys are doing trillions of dollars of trades. Historically, those have been really owned by the traditional commercial banks, the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs. Banks now don't do, well, new players like Hidden Road, a company Ripple bought recently, is new to this space, and they're growing very quickly by serving that same market, but also including digital assets as part of the mix. Having a well-capitalized and a super strong balance sheet player like Hidden Road is allowing more institutions to come into these asset classes against a well-capitalized counterparty, and that is prime brokers bringing people into crypto in 1 minute.
So while Brad Garlinghouse says lock in, and there's another article here, for the sake of time, I can't cover it. The links will be in the description. But Ripple CEO declares XRP central to everything Ripple does. All the money, people. And he says lock in. I say gorilla grip. But I also said let's tie this in with the BRICS payment system. Let's talk a little bit about that. This article here from October 25th, it's just 2 days old. It says the BRICS payment system supports transactions across 185 countries. Now, how many countries are there on the globe? There's only 200 and some, right? 200 and some countries on the globe. But this article brings out that BRICS member China's new payment system, named Cross-Border Interbank Payment System, SIPS is taking the financial world by storm. The SIPS payment system now supports international transactions in the Chinese yuan across 185 countries. China has already signed agreements with 40 countries, including BRICS nations, to settle payments in the new SIPS system. They're pushing this new SIPS system globally. It says while they have pushed the new SIPS payment system worldwide, not every country has agreed to settle trade in it. It says, in conclusion, while 185 countries can use SIPS, around 40 nations are using it as of 2025. Here's the question I want to leave for you. Does this blank Ripple and XRP and the XRPL out with China doing this? Well, first, what is SIPS? It's the cross-border interbank payment system, herein referred to as SIPS, a wholesale payment system authorized by People's Bank of China, specializing in renminbi cross-border clearing. It takes effort to provide reliable, efficient, convenient, low-cost clearing and settlement services. It goes on to say here, 176 indirect participants from 50 countries and regions all over 6 continents. Folks, if I remember correctly, there's only 7 continents, right? Here's what I see. I see by the end of 2019, they had 33 direct participants, 903 indirect participants from 94 countries. Through the direct and indirect participants, the network of SIPS has reached 3,000 plus banking institutions over 167 countries and regions. We know now that's 185, according to the article that we just read. But the question I posed to you was, does this system blank out Ripple, on-demand liquidity, the XRPL, and the RLUSD? And the answer is no. And as we can see from this February of 2018 article, that the Ripple net, as it was described at the time, strengthens emerging markets access into India, Brazil, and China. That's BIC of the BRICS. And this article here highlighted how global remittance payments are on track to grow by 3.4% in 2018, with India and China having the highest incoming flows in 2017. With growing global need, not just for access, but more efficient, transparent, and cost effective payments into and out of emerging markets, new financial institutions have joined RippleNet, 2 banks and 3 payment providers that will expand reach in India, Brazil, and China. But wait, there's more. This 2018 article from February, Leon International joins RippleNet to provide faster payments into where? Into China. And if you read this article, which we're not, but the links will be in the description, it says online retail is massive in China and it's only getting bigger. In fact, the Chinese e-commerce market totaled 672 billion in 2017, projected to reach 1.32 trillion in 2018. We know that we are now in 2025. But it says in order to support the influx of global payments sent to the Chinese e-commerce market and provide a superior customer service, Leon International, a leading Chinese money service company licensed in Hong Kong with 150 million registered users in the region, has joined RippleNet to receive real-time cross-border remittance, invoice payments, and e-commerce payments. Of course, there's a reference to X-Current and all those things. Now we know it's ODL and the XRPL. But when the SIPS is bragging about their success by the end of 2019, you can bet your bottom bippy that Ripple had a hand in doing so. And with a brief hop, skip, and a jump over to Wikipedia, cross-border interbank payment system, or SIPS, we have a very important comment made here that ties into my prior video, and I encourage you to watch all my prior videos, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this one paragraph. All the way back in March of 2016, SWIFT and SIPS signed a memorandum of understanding with the ISO 20022 standard already adopted by SIPS for its payment system. SWIFT went through the implementation process of the standard that can allow the use of Chinese characters in addition to its richer content functionalities. In September of 2017, one of the plans signed between SWIFT and SIPS referenced data including financial institutions. Direct and indirect participation in SIPS will be published via SwiftRef and updated on a monthly basis. And I strongly encourage you to look at my prior video where I address some of this, including the role that it plays in financial institutions. I will have the cards popping up in the right-hand corner of this video. So I hope that the coverage of this information about Ripple's acquisition of Hidden Road, a prime broker, and the conversion of it to form Ripple Prime is received just as what it is: redefining institutional finance through blockchain integration on a global scale. And when we say global, that includes China, that includes the BRICS payment system to which is referenced. I have a video way back when I talked about Target and when I talked about the Russian system that was authorized by the central bank, all in collaboration with guess who? Ripple. That's who. And so don't let anybody ever talk you out of believing that XRP and the ODL and the XRPL, along with the RLUSD, don't let anyone talk you out of believing that's going to be the backbone of the monetary system. And as Brad Garlinghouse says, lock in. As DKWILL says, get your gorilla grip. Know when to hold on and know when to let go. Because XRP will be central to everything that Ripple does. It will be the centerpiece of institutional digital finance. I'm DKWILL, and this is DK. We'll talk about it, and I talked about it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you come on back for DK. We'll talk about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.